Hi there, so glad to have you on another informative journey inside Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Theodore Henry. Thanks for joining us. Coming up, understanding child and adolescent mental wellness. PATH celebrates academic excellence, plus a look at MSME business export development. Please stay with us for these and so much more on the other side of this important message.
Children are the future, and ensuring our future is healthy requires that children are always provided with nutritious foods to grow well and live long. Unhealthy diets high in sugar, salt, and fat consumed by children may make them obese and prone to non-communicable diseases later in life. Healthy foods and beverages not only help them learn better, but also protects them from non-communicable diseases such as some cancers, diabetes, hypertension, and cardiovascular diseases in their childhood and adult life. So, whether it's at home, in the lunch bag, or at school, let's make healthy foods and beverages for our children the only rule.
Good day, I'm Twyla Whelan and this is your JS News for Monday, May 26, 2025. The newly opened Freetown interchange on the Trans-Jam highways is being hailed as a major investment in the development of Clarendon and surrounding communities. That's according to Transport Minister Darrell Vaz, who addressed the recent ribbon-cutting ceremony for the interchange and the expanded Vineyards Toll Plaza. The new infrastructure allows motorists to enter and exit the highway in both directions, east and west, significantly enhancing connectivity.
That might sound like a simple upgrade, but for residents and commuters from Freetown, Old Harbour, Sandy Bay and beyond, it means faster, safer and more convenient travel. This new interchange is not just a traffic solution, it's a community investment. Better highway access increases property values, boosts local business activity, and enhances quality of life. This is how our government grows a local economy.
The interchange forms part of broader improvements under the Trans-Jam Highways upgrade program. Enhancement to the Vineyards Toll Plaza include the addition of more lanes and system upgrades to improve traffic flow and reduce wait times, especially during the morning and evening rush hours. Still on transport, the Portfolio Minister is assuring public passenger vehicle PPV operators that a final decision on the fare increase for the sector will be made in the coming weeks. The government approved a 35% fare increase in October of 2023. However, only a 19% hike was implemented. The additional 16% was scheduled for implementation in April 2024, but due to high inflation, the fare adjustment has not been made. Minister Darrell Vaz provided an update on the matter during a press briefing at the Transport Ministry last Thursday. He reveals that the Bank of Jamaica BOJ has completed a detailed analysis on the impact that the 16% increase would have on the inflation rate, and says, based on that he will be taking a submission to Cabinet in the coming weeks for deliberation and a final decision. Pensioners will soon be able to verify their eligibility for benefits without the burden of travel or paperwork as the Ministry of Labour and Social Security gets closer to rolling out its new digital platform. Portfolio Minister Pernell Charles Jr. gave an update while making his contribution to the 2025-2026 sectoral debate in Parliament recently. The mobile and web-based application aptly named I'm Alive will use facial recognition technology to confirm that pensioners are alive. This will effectively replace the traditional requirement for life certificates and in-person visits to post or parish offices.
We recognize the ongoing challenges that pensioners face. I receive several handwritten letters from our pensioners and I treasure them. Several across the country have explained to me their concerns with the life certificates. In response, we are working with the ICT authority to launch the I'm Alive mobile and web applications.
The platform is expected to offer a more efficient and accessible solution for verifying pensioner status. However, it will serve as an additional option, as Minister Charles Jr. assures that traditional methods of verification such as in-person and email submissions will still be available for those who prefer or require them. To strengthen the nation's hot pepper industry and support small-scale farmers, the Food and Agriculture Organization FAO will distribute 5,000 hot pepper seedlings island-wide. FAO National Project Manager Vanessa Oates made the disclosure during a recent JIS think tank.
We would have conducted some survey to identify the needs, and 20 farmers would have identified that seedling is one of their major issues, and so we'll be providing support. And in engaging the youth, we'll be also providing some of these seedlings to the schools, and we'll be engaging the 4-H Jamaica to assist us with that.
The initiative supports broader goals to boost sustainability, productivity, and export readiness in the sector. To address food safety gaps, the FAO also conducted targeted training to help farmers meet market standards.
We had trainings in good agricultural practices, food safety and good agricultural practices. We had good manufacturing practices training and also market access trainings. We had also for sustainability, we had a Train the Trainer workshop that was designed. So the content for the workshop was designed by the gaps found in the needs assessment.
The sessions included farmers, processors, and packing house operators, with many sessions conducted directly in the field to ensure practical engagement. Participants also received a best practices booklet available in print and digitally. Meanwhile, more than 650 stakeholders have been trained across Jamaica to strengthen hot pepper production, improve pest management, and enhance climate resilience in the agricultural sector. The initiative, costing over $1 million, was launched in 2022 with the aim of increasing competitiveness, sustainability, and international market access to the country's hot peppers. It is being implemented with the support of the Food and Agriculture Organization FAO. FAO National Project Manager Vanessa Oates says the project targets 5 major pepper-producing parishes: St. Anne, St. Mary, St. Elizabeth, Clarendon, and St. Catherine.
These parishes are among the top producers of hot pepper. For Clarendon and St. Catherine, there are some controlled areas with the agro-parks, and for the benefit of the area of low pest prevalence consultancy that we're doing, we had to approach the control areas.
Phytosanitary training was a major focus, equipping 247 stakeholders with the skills to manage pests and reduce crop loss. 68 technical officers were also trained to handle quarantine pests, with the youth also actively targeted.
So we would have partnered with CASE and executed a training of over 50 students. These would be the new entrants into the agriculture sector, so we thought it was necessary to include them in this kind of training.
The project ends in July, but its benefits are expected to continue through capacity building in the Ministry of Agriculture. Farmers who have already benefited from the training are being encouraged to apply new techniques to improve yields and guard against climate and pest-related threats. And finally, the Lime Hall Health Center in St. Anne has received a donation of medical equipment and other supplies worth $3 million. The items were donated by the Rotary Central of the Cayman Islands during a ceremony to formally recognize Rotary's adoption of the health facility under government's Adopt a Clinic initiative.
$3.2 million all at once when they could have stretched it out over a year. So you have not only committed, you put the money right up front and you have made the commitment, and we appreciate that.
The health minister says initiatives such as the Adopt a Clinic program play a vital role in strengthening primary health care across Jamaica.
We have done more in terms of expenditure, in terms of programs, in terms of additional services that were not offered before, additional personnel in terms of doctors and nurses, creating permanent posts that were once temporary, providing training opportunities, and improvement in the infrastructure through programs like this, or Operation Refresh, or the health system strengthening.
And that's it for JS News Today. I'm Twyla Whelan. Thanks for watching.
The child and adolescent years are periods where our young ones absorb knowledge and societal norms and influences that shape their mental consciousness and well-being. And besides the good, there is the bad that responsible adults will have to help them navigate. Come, sit with us on this journey to explore mental health issues children and adolescents face, as well as tips to help them cope.
Is exempt from the ebbs and flows of life, whether young or old. Coping with the various challenging circumstances that confront us all requires mental fortitude and the support of people who can help us cope with the mental strains. This is especially important for children and adolescents faced with mental stresses. To say you have mental challenges doesn't mean you are mad, crazy, or have lost your mind. It simply means that there is a mind-boggling hurdle that you need to get past, stress you need to overcome, or a balanced mental state you need to cultivate.
Now, in today's society, our data reveal that many children experience trauma through adverse child experiences, which can really have a profound effect on their mental health. And these include stuff like bullying, domestic violence, academic stress.
The teenage years represent a transitional period, and teenagers can experience what is recognized as the Erikson stages of development for the human being as identity versus role confusion. This is one of 8 stages of psychosocial development, and strong family bond and support is necessary to avoid the undesirable.
When teenagers come out of the earlier stages of industry versus inferiority, that is when the little children are now seeking to find a little identity in their crafts and so forth. If you don't have strong family bonds that ground you going into the teenage years, you're lost for who you are. Those family bonds that would lead to the creation of teenagers knowing where they're coming from as they grow into their adulthood. Identity versus confusion, our teenagers significantly need that guidance and that basis into who they are. And if they don't have it, you will see confusion. Note immediately after is intimacy versus isolation. The natural inclination to move into the stages that will eventually lead to the continuity of the generation and of family. But if you don't know who you are, you're going to be lost with intimacy versus isolation.
In the absence of good family guidance and a sense of belonging, children and teenagers are likely to welcome any environment and the influence of just about anyone with whom they come in contact, which might not be desirable. This happens increasingly in the social media space.
So in that social media space, just like everywhere else, we need to parent. We need to guide. We need to be aware. If your child is preparing to go out there and play a football match or a cricket match or go and do an exam, you're aware of it because that's where they're spending their time. Likewise for social media. We have to get a grasp on social media. We have to put the guidance, we have to increase the awareness as to what is happening in our spaces. As we enable connectivity, we need to enable safety.
Recognizing the gravity of the mental burden children and teens can face, government, through the Ministry of Health and Wellness and other agents of the state, are providing support. They are promoting conversations around mental wellness and reaching out to help children understand their emotions and address any mental health challenges they may be facing. Major red flags used to identify when persons are not well mentally include lack of concentration or not being able to retain information, a drastic change in appetite, being easily irritable, outside your typical window of annoyance, being excessively worried or anxious, prolonged sadness and withdrawal from friends and family. Conversations about mental health allow more persons to feel comfortable sharing their personal challenges, identifying their source of stress, and taking steps to seek help. 4 videos, developed as the core of an audiovisual mental health toolkit, are being used to promote a holistic approach to complete wellness. They cover the 4 dimensions of health, namely the mental, spiritual, physical, and social dimensions.
The whole premise of this is that professionals will go in, the HFLE teachers, the guidance counselors, members from JAMPSych, members from JPA can go in and relate this content to our students.
The Ministry of Education and Youth, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and Wellness, is cognizant of the dire effects of ACEs, and so together we have provided mental health literacy to students at the secondary level of the education system since 2022. The mental health curriculum is an evidence-based mental health curriculum resource that has been demonstrated to improve both teachers and students' mental health literacy.
But the reality is, most of us don't know how to take care of our social health. So here are 4 tips. 1, know say nice. 2, set your boundaries. 3, manage your emotions. And 4, know when you need to ask for help. So make we start with know say nice. Tonight, before you go to your bed, sit down and make a list of what's good about you. And you see, if you ever start compare yourself to other people, you can go back and read the list. And surround yourself with people who make you feel good about yourself. We don't have no space for no bring down, no bad mind friend. 2, set your boundaries. If you're not happy with how someone or something is making you feel, you have the right to say so or leave. 3, manage your emotions. Sometimes when somebody or something makes us feel bad or angry, our emotions get the better of it and we end up in an argument or fight. Here's what you do. When you realize that you're losing self-control and you're about to say or do something where really going to hurt the person or the friendship, or worse, could have caused them to hurt you, pause, step away. Take some time to manage your emotions. Reason it out with yourself, or reason it out with somebody where you trust. And when you're more in control of yourself, then you decide what you want to do. The 3rd thing, if you know when you need support, like say you realize say your mental health get bad and you're angry all the time, or you're sad, or you're asleep enough, or you can't sleep. Like you tried your work and you can't focus, or maybe you or somebody you know is cutting or some other form of self-harm, reach out for support.
Despite life stresses, try to be positive. Interact with each other with respect. Express gratitude. Write a list of the things you're grateful for. Identify your sources of stress and avoid those. On the other hand, pursue the things that make you happy. It feeds into your well-being, how you see the world, and how you navigate the challenges.
When I speak of our spiritual health, I'm speaking of persons recognizing a sense of identity, who they are, what role they play in something that is bigger than us. A lot of times, and that is what teenagers are seeking. That's why it is identity versus confusion.
You can gain spiritual health by being hopeful and positive. Your spiritual journey is a personal journey, so be mindful that everybody's path is different. Additionally, you must practice self-worth. Know that you are worthy, know that you are deserving, and know that others around you are worthy and deserving.
And so as we get grounded in who we are more accepting of self, but we're also more accepting of others because we recognize the value in others. And so that is essentially the toolkits.
The future of every nation depends on every child. Let us recommit ourselves to the cause of children's rights. Let us pledge to be vigilant guardians of their innocence, their right to education, to safety, and to a future filled with promise. Let us encourage them to stand up, speak out, and ensure that every child's voice is heard, every child's right is protected, and every child's future is bright.
Did you know that reading is for everyone? Whether you're a student, a professional, or simply someone looking to expand your horizons, reading is for you. Reading expands knowledge, improves focus and concentration, enhances vocabulary, and serves to unlock your creativity. So make time for reading every day. Let's make reading a habit for a smarter, healthier, and more successful life. For reading is for everyone.
The Ministry of Labour and Social Security, through its PATH initiative, is recognizing and celebrating students who excel academically as it supports poverty alleviation and social mobility of poor Jamaicans. Keep watching to learn more about the PATH Top Achievers Awards in this next feature.
The Program of Advancement through Health and Education PATH is developing Jamaica's human capital to break the intergenerational cycle of poverty. Their aim is to provide financial support to the most vulnerable in society through their delivery of cash benefits. PATH has impacted about 350,000 beneficiaries, the majority of them being children. To recognize the academic performance of those children, the Top Achievers Awards were introduced in 2005. After a brief pause caused by the pandemic, it returned in 2023.
The Top Achievers Awards event showcases some of our most outstanding students and leaders who have made significant strides towards the economic independence of themselves and their families, with PATH as a strong and reliable system of support.
29 PATH students were awarded for their outstanding academic performance during the 2023 Primary Exit Profile PEP and Caribbean Secondary Examination Council CSEC exams.
For this year, we are working with a particular theme, celebrating empowerment through education, because that is what we see in our top achievers. Children who have risen above circumstances, who have utilized the opportunity of education and are now moving towards success.
You are indeed a product of service, shaped by your contributions of countless individuals who believe in the potential of this nation.
The top achievers for PEP each received a book voucher and a check valued at $25,000 in addition to their trophies. In addition to their plaques, winners at the secondary level each received a book voucher valued at $50,000, along with a check of the same value. The PATH top scholars at both the primary and secondary school level were nominated not only for their academic performance, but also other aspects of their student career. For their hard work, they were each given a letter of commendation from the Minister of Labour and Social Security, Pernell Charles Jr. At the primary school level, Jamay Thomas and Evoy Gooden took the honours. Kashif Barton and Dervet Mignot returned the highest number of Grade 1 passes in CSEC to earn their top scholar trophies. The PATH Top Achievers Awards ceremony also serves as an opportunity to celebrate the tangible long-term impact of former beneficiaries of the program. For 2023, there were 2 nominees, and Jordan Freeman came out on top and received that Trailblazer Award for excelling in his academic and career pursuits.
Scholarship applications for the 2025 academic year are now open under the government's Tertiary Student Assistance Program. Specialized and traditional scholarships are generally available to full-time students between the ages of 18 and 49 years. Application for funding commenced on April 1 and will close June 30, 2025. To qualify, students must be accepted to or pursuing an accredited program of study at one of these certified tertiary institutions. To get more details on all components of the Tertiary Student Assistance Program, go to tsap.moey.gov.jm. If you have further queries, you may send an email to jamvat, jmvat@moey.gov.jm. The financial assistance grants at moey.gov.jm, and all scholarship and in-service inquiries go to scholarships@moey.gov.jm. Our half-hour journey through the pages of Jamaica Magazine ends right here for today. But please, join us again tomorrow on this station for more news, features, and information you can use to live, work, raise families, do business, and of course, retire in paradise. In the meantime, visit our website, jis.gov.jm, for this and other offerings. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Theodore Henry. Until next time, take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.